There's one question that you have to ask before you make a hiring decision around a salesperson. Okay, if I'm being honest here with you, I shot this video last night. I don't know what happened, but when I tried to download it, the audio was gone, and I was already working and in a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt, not wearing a nice suit like this, so I decided I will punt and I'll record it right now. Listen, if you have an empty role and you're a sales manager or a sales leader and you're responsible for hiring, I know how stressful it can be. I know how important it is to fill that role. But I want to share some ideas about the mistakes that we make when we're trying to hire, and we do some things that cause us greater problems down the road. So let me start with the first one and the biggest one. I think that a lot of people are under pressure and they make poor hiring decisions because they have a territory without a rep in it and they need to put a rep in that territory. And I've done this myself, so I know exactly how painful it is. And the thing about having a quota is that if you have a $10 million quota with 10 reps and you're missing 2 of them, you're looking at an $8 million a year, and you look at missing that $2 million you need to make your quota. So the pressure starts to get to be much, and you think, I've just got to put somebody in that territory, because the longer it goes without somebody working in that territory, the further behind I fall. And you're right about that, because one of the most difficult things you can do as a sales manager is try to restart a territory when there's no pipeline, when no one's been making calls, when no one knows who you are because the territory's been left alone for so long. Your competitors are out picking up all those clients, and now you're moving into a competitive displacement kind of approach, and it can be difficult. But you can't hire the person sitting in front of you simply because you have a territory and you need to put a rep in it. So let's move on to the second mistake that tends to happen when we have an open territory or an open position and we need to do something about it. We decide that we're going to hire based specifically on experience. And you're looking at a rep and they've got a great pedigree. Every job they've had since leaving high school, even through college, was a sales role. They've worked in B2B. They've had experience that's either in your industry or it's ancillary to your industry. And you're looking at this person saying, this is perfect. I don't have to teach them sales acumen because they've been through a lot of training before. I don't have to teach them my business because they have an understanding of this. My job is going to be easy. And by trying to make your job easy, you make your job difficult, because this person, even though they have the experience, that doesn't mean that they're going to succeed in your role. It doesn't mean that they're not going to need your coaching and your training and your development and your attention. It's more likely that they will need those things to succeed than not need those things, and you know that's true. But yet we hire out of desperation and we think, this person's got experience, they're in front of me, I'll hire that person. Another reason we do that, we hire somebody because we don't want to be challenged. And we hire somebody that's been around long enough, they know how to color inside the lines. They're not going to challenge you or your company to do better. They're not going to challenge the client. They're just going to punch the clock, try to do their job. They're going to hope that everybody leaves them alone. And that can be attractive because you're thinking, I've got 4 prima donnas right now. I got to deal with them. I need somebody that's just going to stay within the lanes and make it easy for me. But by doing that, of course, you make it more difficult for you, because that person who's not going to challenge you isn't going to challenge anybody, and they're never going to produce the results that they're capable of. And then we get to the point where we hire out of desperation. We get to the point where we say, I've just got to hire somebody. Anybody in this seat is better than having nobody in the seat. All of these are reasons that people hire. All of them have some merit. And I can honestly tell you, it sucks not having somebody in a territory, or a couple somebody's not in a couple territories over time. But the reason that you're hiring a salesperson is to serve your clients. So the most important question you can ask is not, will they take this territory? Not, will they accept my pay rate? Not, will they challenge me? The question that you have to ask yourself is, will my customers in that territory want to buy from this person? Will they want this person as part of their team? Will they decide to prefer working with this person over all the other salespeople that call on them? And until you can answer that question and say yes, the person sitting in front of you, no matter how much you like them, no matter how easy you think it's going to be, is not the right hire. You have to hire the kind of person that's going to be able to serve your clients and give them what they need. Okay, that being said, I want to take a minute. If you're a salesperson and you watched this far into the video, I want to talk about you. If you're looking for work, pick up the phone and call the hiring sales manager for the company that you want to work for. Don't respond by clicking a button on CareerBuilder or Indeed or Zip and having your resume show up. What you are doing is you're signaling to the hiring manager, I'm not really a salesperson. I'm just clicking this button so I can tell everybody I'm really looking for work. And I can go ahead and prove to my wife or my friends that I did something about my job today, even though you did nothing. Because if you're a salesperson and you want a sales job, you have to behave like a salesperson. So what you want to do is you want to pick up the phone and call the hiring manager and say, I'd like to get on your calendar to come in and interview for this position. I think it sounds like something that I would be really good at. I think my experience is going to make it faster for me, and I really want to get back in the game as quickly as possible. When can we meet? And when you give them that experience, they're looking through this lens to say, I can work with this. I can work with somebody who's not afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody. But somebody that sends a resume is another me too. You're transacting and you're signaling what you will be as a hire. So if you're a sales manager, you're looking for somebody who's going to pick up the phone and call you. And if you're a rep, pick up the phone and call the person you want to work for. Tell them you want to work for them. That's going to be enough to differentiate you, and it's probably going to get you hired. I'm Anthony Iannarino. You can find me here, of course, youtube.com/Iannarino. You can find me at thesalesblog.com, where I publish every day. Hit the like button, share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe. This is Everyday.